What's up, Manna fam? Welcome back to your Morning Manna. This entire week we've been going through Ephesians chapter 2, and earlier this week, Pastor Jeff taught us about grace and the goodness of God, and over the past couple days we've been looking over the same passage and talking about our response to this grace and the gratitude this produces in us and the way it changes our posture altogether. And today we're going to wrap up this conversation by looking at verses 8 through 10, and we're asking the question, why? God has saved us from so much, but He's also saved us for so much, but why? Is there something we did? Is it something we lucked into? Well, let's jump into verse 8 and see what Paul says. Verse 8 says this, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not of your own doing, it is the gift of God, not a result of works, so that anyone may boast. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." Three quick things I want to point out. We had nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with us and everything to do with Him. So why did God spare us? Why did He choose undeserving people and elevate them to a position of glory? Well, simply because He's good. Simply because He wants us to be with Him. This passage just told us that grace is a gift, and you don't pay for a gift. You don't earn a gift. You just receive it. And this is really good news for us, because if God's love and grace were dependent on our own works, then our status with God would change as frequently as our behavior does. But since God's love for us is dependent on Him, and since God doesn't change, that means His love for us will never change. So remember, we're not saved by our own good deeds. We're saved by faith in a God that loves us unconditionally, which leads me to my second point, and that's this. We're never too far gone, even when we were at our darkest. And I want you to hear me on this, but even when we were the furthest away from God and we wanted nothing to do with Him, He still loved us. Listen, I don't know where you're at, and I don't know what you're going through in life, but maybe there's someone in your life that isn't following Jesus, and maybe you've just lost hope. Maybe you're watching this and you are that person. Maybe you feel like you're far away from God, and maybe you're thinking, listen, man, you don't know where I've been. You don't know what I've done. God wouldn't accept someone like me. Well, listen, I tell you what, you can never be far too gone. There's always hope. And as long as you're drawing breath on this earth, I truly believe this, God has something more for you. And really that applies to all of us, because point number 3 is this. We are God's masterpiece. You know, has anybody ever told you that you're a real piece of work? I'm serious. It literally just said that we're His workmanship. I mean, think about it. God has redeemed us from a broken past. He's healing us and changing us in our present so that He can propel us into our future. We've been created on purpose, for a purpose. What a wonderful picture it is, isn't it? God is taking our broken lives and He's making it beautiful, and it's all because of His grace. Let me encourage you, Manna Church, as we wrap up this series in Ephesians chapter 2, let's remember His grace. May it overwhelm our hearts and compel us with a genuine sense of gratitude that changes the way we think, changes the way we act, and it changes the way that we treat others around us. God bless you, and we'll see you next time.